NED, the holes are at the bottom. The cup is attached to the lid. Went to my brother's house last weekend, and he had bought this from a thrift store with absolutely no idea what it is. It was definitely a conversation starter. Some sort of steamer, maybe? Crab steamer with a cup for your butter on top? No banana for scale, as I wasn't planning on posting here, but to the left is a lovely blue-edged 8-inch paper plate and a coffee cup behind it. It's at least 8 inches tall before the cup on top. F44, living the dull life from beautiful NC. What do you think it is? Can't wait for the comments. Edited. It's not a butter crock, as I have one, and it's way too big for that. I had my brother take some more pics. Still no banana for scale, but tape measure to the rescue. The thing that gets me is the pour spout on the cup attached to the lid. There is a woman that is currently tolerating my often presence. Like many women, she usually carries what they call a handbag. I have no idea what they keep in there, but said handbag had a slight fault, whereas the strap had unattached itself from one side. Being a dull man who likes a challenge, I took it upon myself to attempt a repair. I was slightly precarious about her response, which could possibly have been, "Just buy me a new handbag." I could easily do that, but I relished the challenge of giving new life to a little piece of history. A piece of history, mind you, that has accompanied said woman on many more occasions than I. After much searching, consideration, and going down to get the toolbox out of my mate's car, and also the conundrum of whether to use a thread of string or a cable tie or two, zip ties, for my US and Japanese readers, I stumbled across a small can of bourbon with an interesting ring pull. Photo not attached because brand names are against the rules, I think. Anyway, I drilled a few holes in the side of said handbag, applied a metal ring pull from the can of bourbon, and a cable tie, and voila! It might not last very long, but I think I did a pretty good job for a computer programmer. After I finished, she said something about a TV show called MacGyver. I've never heard of it. Also, she wants to be my girlfriend now. I don't know what that is either. My eldest son is in year 7. For non-Brits, that is the first year of secondary school or high school. It has been a big change for us as parents and him. Instead of one teacher that we get to know fairly well, he has a different teacher for each subject and for form time. We don't know what any of them look like or really have any communication with any of them. You can't get through to anyone in the office, and they aren't bothered about passing on messages anyway. If your kid forgets their PE kit or lunch, it's tough. No one is going to take it to them. They get lots of homework, none of which we see or are aware of, as it's all on various apps and websites. They can't remove their blazer without permission, even it's hot. They don't get their lunch break until 1:30 p.m., by which point my son has reached starvation levels, if you believe him, and cannot buy snacks in his 15-minute break because the queue is too long. He really needs to practice queuing, as it's surely a must in a dull man's repertoire. All of these things are fairly irritating. However, nothing surpasses the largest irritation of all, which is AstroTurf. They spend PE lessons on the pitch. It's fake grass. Fake. Yet every week, I dutifully empty out his PE kit to find it full of bits of grass and, bizarrely, little black pebbles. It took me a couple of weeks to ascertain where the little black pebbles that kept appearing around the house were coming from. Now I carefully extricate each item of PE kit over the sink so that the hundreds of weird black pebbles and assorted blades of real, fake, grass are captured in one place. Most annoyingly, I had cleaned the sink before I remembered to empty his PE kit today. I'm tempted to make him empty the lot outside next time. 38 years old for another month. Size 5 shoe. Spending my Friday evening moaning about AstroTurf. My wife and I have been married for 14 years. 14 glorious years. 14 years of laughter, love, and her demonstrating Olympic-style patience with my dull routines. We are complete opposites, yet somehow we work. She is warm, social, and respected in her field. I am not. I am a grumpy introvert whose career somehow involves being sociable, despite my natural preference for avoiding people. One thing we do have in common, though, is that neither of us ever says, "I love you too." We say, "I love you," sometimes multiple times a day, but never the "I love you too" standard reply. I have only just realized this, and "I love you too" has always sounded to me like a polite auto-reply. Like when someone wishes you happy birthday on Facebook, and you feel obliged to type thanks to all 12 of them, even though you only really mean it for about 2. It feels bolted on, transactional, something done out of obligation rather than real emotion. On TV shows and movies, it's just a scriptwriter's cue to move to the next scene. I like to think that when I say "I love you" to my wife, she knows I really mean it. Because I do. I even thank her regularly for marrying me. Because let's face it, the queue for that opportunity wasn't exactly long. 14 years. No "I love you too" response, but plenty of love. And, on my part, an immense amount of gratitude that someone so wonderful voluntarily signed up for sharing my ever-dull, very non-eventful, samey life. Robin, UK. 14 years in, my wife still laughs at my jokes. It's part of the long-term warranty I took out. Yes, we have no bananas, but we have dollars. I've seen these hanging out in my pool room down here in Mexico, but I just kinda cringed and ignored them as much as possible. As a dedicated arachnophobe, it wasn't till I learned that they are technically a whip scorpion that I decided to take one as a pet. He's laying on a piece or artboard that's marked 30 cm x 40 cm, and he uses most of it up. Chancre is what they call them down here, and the Latin name is way too long for me to write. I'm 68, size 9.5 US, and bored as you can tell.